God's chosen ones. You became something even the other gods were not allowed to become. This form is insane, God's chosen ones. Pause for a moment and listen. On the night of Wednesday, September 4th, when the clock strikes 11 p.m., the crown that was once forbidden will call your name. If your heart just beat a little faster, that's the sign. The number 11 will appear again, and you'll know tonight changes everything. If you're willing to listen. Picture the room you're in right now. The light is dim, the windows slightly open, the night breeze carrying the scent of damp earth after an old rain. Somewhere far away, a bell begins to ring, slow and steady, unhurried, as if the heavens themselves are whispering to you, stop, breathe, do not be afraid. You've seen the patterns these past weeks, numbers like 11, 4, 4, 4, 7, 77, the recurring dream of a shining door, a hand resting gently on your shoulder. You thought it was just fatigue. But tonight, Wednesday, September 4th, as the clock drifts toward 11:11 p.m., every layer of doubt will fall away like ashes, and your name, your sacred name, will be called aloud. If these words are reaching you right now, then God has already sent the sign. It's here in the wind, in the coolness of the air, in the way your heartbeat slows. You are not invisible. You are not abandoned. You are not lost. You are chosen. Stay until the end, because tonight, forbidden no longer means off limits. It means the key, the one that opens the door you've been praying for all along. And in the stillest moment of this night, you will hear the whisper, that crown, it belongs to you. Part 1, Forbidden, Chosen. The night slides through the window like a black cat, brushing your shoulder with the gentle chill of thin air. In a darkness just deep enough to blur the edges of things, a fine line of light runs across the sky, a crack, thin but alive, like the quick breath of someone running through the spine of the universe. You stand before the half-open window, your hand resting unconsciously on the wooden frame, listening to the whisper of leaves brushing against one another, to the insects keeping time, and to the clock ticking with patient certainty. 11:08, 11:09, 11:10. You didn't plan to wait, yet you do. No one promised, yet you believe, because for weeks now, you've been awakened by tiny signs, timid, fluttering, like a butterfly tapping on glass, the number 11 appearing out of nowhere. 444 printed on a receipt, a song stopping at 7:07. You tell yourself it's coincidence, but deep down, even you don't believe that cheap reassurance. That shining crack, you first thought it was a jet line drawn across the sky, but it doesn't move. It looks like a scratch on a vast mirror, and the longer you look, the clearer it becomes. That mirror is hanging right behind the night, reflecting not your face, but everything you've tried to hide, your fear of being forgotten. The question, why am I always second? The moments you forced to smile with ashes in your throat. The mirror in the crack of the universe doesn't reflect your image. It reflects your identity. Each beam of light feels like an old line from the book of your life. Its pages yellowed, the ink faded, yet still carrying that stubborn scent of truth. And suddenly, you realize it's calling your name. A breeze moves through your hair. The scent of last week's rain still lingers in the air. From somewhere far away, a bell rolls through the night, not urgent, not loud, but steady, like truth itself. And in the silence between the chimes, your hand on your chest. You hear your heartbeat slowing. In that quiet space between beats, a whisper rises small as an unspoken thought, clear as fire. You are safe to become. You pause. Safe, the word settles on your soul like a cool cloth on an old burn. Become a door opening where you once thought there was only a wall. You close your eyes and let the sentence flow through you like a river beneath the earth, washing off the hardened dust clinging to your bones. When did becoming start to feel dangerous? When did you start calling your dreams reckless and your weariness proof of being realistic? You look up again. The crack in the sky seems to twist softly, thinner now, deeper, shimmering like gold threads in mended porcelain. Could it be that the universe knows the art of kintsugi, repairing what was broken with gold to show its scars and call them beautiful? If the universe dares to do that, why have you tried so hard to hide yours? You've called your droughts punishments, closed doors rejections, and long silences abandonment. But tonight, standing before the glowing crack that looks like the palm line of heaven itself, you begin to see it differently. Silence was the sterile room where your soul could heal. The closed door was the wind-shifting seasons. The drought was the empty well being cleared for new water to rise. What you thought was forbidden off limits, rejected, unworthy, was only a fence built around you for a while. Not to trap you, but to guard you. For years you thought you were cursed. The careless words of elders, the smirks of co-workers, the cold rejection letters, they perched on your shoulders like black birds, pecking at pieces of your confidence. You wore forbidden like a label across your forehead. Not enough, not fit, not worthy. So each time your heart wanted to move forward, your mind pulled the brakes, afraid to expose the unfinished parts of you in daylight. You learned to shrink, to turn down the volume of your dreams, to cover your softness with seriousness, as if wearing armor just to buy bread. But forbidden transformation was never an insult. It was a misread instruction you picked up along the way and hung in your house. If you turn it over, you'll see the handwriting of mercy. You were not forbidden because you were wrong. You were kept because it wasn't time yet. Just as a seed is not allowed to open when the soil is cold, or a flower forbidden to bloom in frost, delay was protection. Waiting was preservation. And now, as night ripens, as the bell falls upon time, as the number 11 paints a new streak of light across the wall, forbidden changes its meaning. It's no longer a barrier. It's a password. You open your eyes and look again at the cracked mirror hanging in the sky. In those thin lines of light, you see flashes of your life, the day you were called useless, the day you closed your notebook and swore never to write again, the night you nearly walked away from it all, the morning you decided to stay though no one promised it would get better. You realize each fracture in that mirror aligns perfectly with a fracture in you. But unlike before, you don't feel shame. The cracks don't distort the reflection, they highlight the light. Each one catches it like the edge of a star. The universe is showing you what no one told you. Cracks don't prove you're broken, they prove you're real. And then, the whisper returns clearer now, no longer a thought but a gentle command. You are safe to become. You taste those words on your tongue. They aren't sweet like cheap comfort. They're mineral, metallic like blood when a wound begins to close. They remind you safety isn't the absence of pain. It's knowing whose hands you're in. Becoming isn't performing, it's shedding borrowed skins until your true name is visible again. You turn back inside. On the table lies your old journal. Thick from all the beginnings that stopped halfway, the pages crossed out, the dreams folded away. You open to a blank page. The pen touches paper and writes without hesitation today. I agree to become. The word agree blooms in the air like a watered seed, somewhere inside your chest. A door creaks open like an oiled hinge. You place a hand over your shoulder and feel warmth rising there, where your burdens used to rest, as if a larger hand has found you. Not pushing, not pulling, just resting to remind you you're no longer walking alone. You used to think transformation was an explosion, a burst of fireworks, but right now, it feels more like roots spreading quietly underground, slow, steady, unseen. They search for water, for salt, for warmth, for darkness deep enough to hold their tenderness until the ground decides to bloom. To others it might look sudden. Oh, it just blossomed, but you and the earth know nothing about this as sudden. There were silent days where no one brought flowers, nights without light, mornings where you woke feeling like no one at all. All of it led to this, the moment you can breathe without pain. You lift your eyes. The crack glows brighter now, not like a flaw, but like a golden seam on ancient pottery. Its worth lies not in perfection, but in the story of what was broken and healed. You smile. For the first time in a long while, you smile without asking permission. You think of those who once touched your life, the teacher who called you a dreamer, the friend who said you're too sensitive, the lover who told you you're hard to love. Those words once pinned you to a wall like a butterfly under glass. Tonight, you pull the pins out not with anger, but with understanding that they were never placed correctly. You let the butterfly go. It doesn't rush to fly. It rests on your finger, flutters softly, and then lifts. You realize freedom, too, needs practice. In the next room, your phone lights up a harmless notification, but the time makes you laugh. 11:11. The distant bell returns right on cue. An arrow drawn just to keep you from losing your way. You no longer ask for signs. You've been given enough. Now it's time to answer. You stand. Walk to the mirror, not the cosmic one outside, but the old, spotted one in your room. This mirror reflects your face, carrying all the stories you once hid. You meet your own eyes not with emptiness, but with curiosity, like a craftsman studying raw clay. What shape are you ready to take today? The answer doesn't come in words. It comes as breath, as your chest expands, as your spine straightens, free of old weights. You understand now you don't need a new title to become. You just need permission from yourself to pronounce your old name correctly. You clear the table, tear away every note that says not enough, not ready, stop dreaming. On the bare surface, you place 3 things: the notebook, a pen, and a small cup. You pour water. The light reflects across the cup like the crack in the sky. You lift it to your lips, and once again, you hear the voice, soft, steady, warm as a hidden flame. You are safe to become. Safe to become. It means you're safe to say no to what empties you. Safe to say yes to what requires courage. Safe to change direction when the path no longer feels like yours. It means you don't need anyone's permission to live as chosen. Your acceptance of it is the ritual. It means your cracks will remain, but they'll shine instead of darken. You don't need to erase your past. You only need to inlay it with gold. Outside, the cosmic crack stretches a little wider, like the faint smile of the sky. You imagine touching it. It's cold, deep, strangely soft. It doesn't cut you, it receives you, like touching a scar that has just healed new skin, tender and alive. You understand your weakest places are the gateways of the sacred. Strength doesn't come from muscle. It comes from the courage to open the soft door without shame. You sit again and write not long paragraphs, but short, sharp declarations. I am not cursed. I am being remade. I no longer ask who I am. I live it. I don't need to be fast. I need to be true. I don't need perfection. I need faithfulness. I don't need permission. I am chosen. Each line feels like staking the ground for a new tent. You know the morning will still bring the same routines, tea, emails, unfinished work, but something inside you has moved house. And at this new address, the old knocks will no longer fit the key. By the time you close the journal, the night is halfway gone. Years ago, this would have been the hour you tried to sleep it all away. Tonight, you simply sit. You let the stillness rise thick as water. The bell has gone quiet. The clock turns 11:12, 11:13. You don't mourn the number that passed. What needed to arrive already has your own agreement with your own becoming. You place your hand over your heart and say it again, slow and clear, teaching it to every cell you are safe to become. And something inside you opens a small terrace, a wooden chair, a tender plant waiting for morning light. You stand and turn off the lamp. In the dark, the crack outside still glows, a golden thread tying heaven to your hand. You don't need to pull it, it will stay long enough for you to get used to the new light. You walk toward your bed and lie down. Before closing your eyes, you whisper not to anyone, not for a response, I'm here. That's enough. Because sometimes the strongest prayer isn't asking for something, but simply confirming your place so that when the season opens, you're not missing. And then, the voice no longer whispers. It covers the room like a warm quilt, loosening every muscle I kept you waiting, not to punish you, but to make room inside you for what I've prepared. You are no longer forbidden. You were preserved. Now I return to you what others thought was locked. Go. No need to run. Just walk. Every faithful step is an act of royalty. You smile in the dark, a smile no one sees, but it changes your whole face. Tomorrow, you'll wake to the same routines, brewing tea, checking mail, continuing what's unfinished. But within those same hours, you'll do something new. You'll live as someone who finally believes it's safe to become. And when someone asks what's changed, you won't rush to tell them about the crack in the sky they might not understand. You'll simply say, I'm learning to inlay gold into my own cracks. They may smile or shake their head. It won't matter. Because tonight, the universe reflected in you, and you reflected it back. Two mirrors met, and in their meeting, light bloomed. The night closes softly, like a door that knows how to shut without a sound. You have crossed the threshold. There is no forbidden anymore, only kept for the right time. No curse, only renewal. No who am I, only I am becoming. And deep between your heartbeats, the voice remains unfading, unmoving, unmistakable you are safe to become. Part 2. Furnace of Proof. That night, after the crack in the sky sealed, a silence thick as ash settled over the room. No more bells. No strange light, only a low heat in your chest, as if someone had lit a small fire inside you. It didn't blaze or devour. It smoldered steady like the fire in a forge, a fire that doesn't burn to destroy, but burns to shape. You don't know when that warmth began turning into real flame. Each time you remembered someone who had hurt you, the fire flared, licking at your heart, making you recoil on reflex. You used to beg God, "Please put this fire out. I'm tired. I just want peace." But instead of fading, the fire rose higher, as if that prayer itself were a gust of oxygen blowing on the coals. Then, in the quiet, a voice spoke. Not thunder, not a bell, but soft, almost like the tiny crackle of pine in a hearth. "I do not burn you to destroy you. I fire you to make you true." You opened your eyes and looked around. No one there. Yet the faint scent of smoke hung in the air, warm and sweet enough to stir old memories. In your mind, you were standing in a furnace for refining gold not made of stone, but of memory. Every painful memory was a log on the fire. Every wound, a hammer striking soft metal. And amid the sharp clash of iron and flame, you realized the thing crying out wasn't your soul. It was the old shell around it. You remembered the times you broke promises forgotten, love withdrawn, betrayal arriving just when you had given your trust. Each one was metal thrust into the heat, hot, painful, shrinking, expanding. But in that very process, the impurities were pressed out of the gold. You once believed God punished you through loss. But now, within this fire, you understand He was purifying. Gold cannot keep its dross and still shine. Neither can a soul. The fire doesn't ask if you're ready. It only asks if you will let yourself become real. There were days you thought you'd reached your limit. "Why must I hurt so much to learn one small thing?" you asked. Again the voice came, "Because that small thing is everything." Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the soul's chemical reaction to fire. Then the image shifted. No longer a raging furnace, but an ancient smithy. Through haze and red light, a craftsman worked, hands calloused, movements patient. Each time the metal glowed, he paused, wiped his brow, and smiled. You looked closer. The face held the features of everyone you'd ever loved, resented, or wept over. And after a while, you understood the craftsman was God shaping you through each person, each event, each fracture. You asked, "You could have made me perfect from the start. Why send me through the fire?" He smiled, because fire doesn't only shape the form, it shapes a soul that can bear light. Light is strong if you haven't known the fire. You'll melt when it touches you. I let you burn so you won't fear the light anymore. You fell quiet. The explanation didn't erase the ache, but it disarmed your resistance. You began to see pain was no longer an enemy. It had been a hidden teacher. The flames softened, not red, but turning gold, the glow of metal reaching purity. In that light, something small gleamed, a letter. It lay in the ash, its edges faintly lit, as if someone had placed it there long ago. You bent down and picked it up. Though the fire had faded, the envelope was warm, as if it had a heartbeat. You opened it. Inside were only a few lines. handwriting soft as breath. I know each person who hurt you. I saw it all. Do not keep them as evidence. Let them be witnesses. Forgiveness is not freeing them. It is opening the furnace door so you can walk out. They were not the fire, I am. And I do not burn you in anger. I burn you to call the gold in you to the surface. If this letter is in your hands, the fire has finished its work. Shake off the ash. Step out warm, without scorching, bright, without blinding. You read it again and again until tears blurred the ink. In that moment, something melted, not the sadness, but the need to prove yourself. You no longer needed to defend or to be understood. Gold requires no advertisement. Let light touch it, and people know it's real. You whispered, "I forgive," not to seem noble, but because you wanted to be light. Strangely, as those words left your lips, a small crack sounded in your chest like an old shell dropping away. The room filled with the warm scent of metal, the smell of completion. You remembered every person, every face, every cut. One by one, you spoke their names and, in your mind, handed each one a small measure of ash. No bitterness, no regret. Ash isn't frightening. Ash is part of the process. A fire without ash is not a true fire. When you opened your eyes, the cosmic crack was gone. But on the wall, a soft gold reflection lingered, like a ribbon of flame cooling into honey. You stepped closer, placed your hand over your heart, and felt the warmth not fierce now, but steady as a heartbeat. You understood the old dividing lines: good versus bad, victory versus loss, pitiable versus despicable had fallen away. God did not choose you so you wouldn't hurt. He chose you so you would know that hurt cannot kill the light. He didn't promise a smooth road. He promised to stand in the furnace with you. And when the fire has finished, He no longer needs to grip your hand because now you shine from within. Outside, rain began to fall gentle, not violent, the kind that soothes the ground after it's been fired. You opened the window and let the smell of wet earth mingle with the scent of ash, the fragrance of rebirth. A breeze slipped through and lifted the letter on the table, revealing one final line you hadn't seen before. When you forgive, you lose nothing. You simply trade ash for gold. You looked up and smiled. For the first time in a very long time, you were no longer afraid of the flames, because now you know God does not burn what He plans to discard. He burns what He intends to keep forever. Part 3, Marked and Numbered. The next morning, sunlight slipped through the blinds like threads of gold, quietly redrawing the line between night and day. The scent of smoke from the furnace still lingered in the air, but instead of sharp or bitter, it was warm, like pine resin still glowing on ember. You sat up, eyes burning, throat dry. Beside you lay the letter from last night, the paper cool now, yet holding an odd warmth, as if the ink itself still remembered. You turned it over once more, rereading the final line. When you forgive, you lose nothing. You simply trade ash for gold. You were about to fold it when a ray of light streamed from the window and struck the table, forming a reflection of a familiar number, 1111. You froze. Your wrist trembled not in fear, but because memory surged like floodwater. 11, a pair, a gate, a mirror, a heartbeat in perfect rhythm. How long had it been following you, unnoticed in your notebook, on receipts, in messages? In moments when you felt most lost, that number always appeared, like a secret appointment written into time itself. You once laughed, just coincidence, but now, after the furnace, you no longer believe in coincidence. Some things are not random. They're simply arranged so delicately, they look like chance. You looked at the clock. Still 11:11. The second hand paused, as if time itself held still for you to remember. And then, from somewhere deep in your chest, an old voice rose. Someone once told you, when God wants to call your name, He doesn't shout. He sends signs repeating until you stop and say, I hear you. You don't remember who said it, a pastor, a friend, maybe your own spirit. But today, that sentence unlocked something larger. You stood and walked to the calendar on your wall. The days of the month were circled in red ink, some with small dots in the corners. You had marked the days you fell apart, the days you prayed, the days strange things happened with no explanation. And now, as your eyes traced the red circles, you noticed the pattern-forming lines connecting into the unmistakable shape of a cross. Your eyes stung. With trembling fingers, you followed the marks, whispering the stories behind them. April 4th, you lost your job. 44. July 7th, a phone call came from an unknown number. No words, just breathing. Then silence. You shivered that night, not knowing why. 7th to November 11th, last year, sitting in a cafe. You glanced at your watch, 11:11 a.m. At that exact moment, a stranger smiled at you as if they knew something you didn't. All those moments, once scattered, now align like notes in a symphony. Every number is a tone. Every day, a beat. And God the conductor has been leading an orchestra of time so that one day you'd see it was all marked for you. You sank back into the chair, tears falling, not the kind that sting, but the kind that soften, the kind that come when truth finally finds your name. You whispered hoarsely, you marked me, not to bind me, but to remember me. Now you understood. A mark is not possession. It's belonging, like a jeweler engraving his name inside a ring, not to show off, but so that even when it's scratched and worn, the world still knows who made it. God's mark is the same. He doesn't brand you to control you. He marks you so when you wander. Creation itself can say, this one is His. A memory returned years ago. As a child, you asked your mother, why doesn't God talk to me the way He did in the Bible? She smiled, brushing your hair, because He speaks through what you'll remember forever. Numbers, time, dreams. You giggled back then. But now, you realize she was right in ways no book ever explained. God never stopped speaking. You just hadn't learned His language of signs. 11. Two parallel pillars, the meeting of heaven and earth, where God and man touch in silence. 444. The three realms, body, soul, spirit, the cipher of divine protection. 711. The seal of completion, the sign that the circle is closing and the promise is near. You wrote each number into your journal, and beneath each one, you wrote what your heart heard. 11. I stand at the threshold and call you by your true name. 4. I surround you. No one can touch what I have set apart. 77. The journey is full. Rest now in the light. Each line felt like a frequency, God's message translated into the mathematics of mercy. And as you finished writing, tears came again, not from fear, but from recognition. Every lost second, every question, every whisper of, "Where are you?" God, He had been right there. In the digits glowing on your screen, in the sound of the bells, in the reflection of light across the table. Not to predict your future, but to remind you He never left. From the church nearby, a noon bell began to ring. Its sound traveled through the air, over rooftops, through the open window until it reached your chest. You looked again, the clock read 11:11. It couldn't be coincidence anymore. Each chime landed on your heartbeat, one by one, like a pulse echoing back to its source. Every vibration whispered, "I am here. I'm counting every breath. Every number you see is the rhythm of my heart for you." You closed your eyes. Behind your lids, memories turned to light. 11:4 Harvey, 7 spinning softly like crystalline code. It wasn't arithmetic anymore. It was covenant. You finally understood why your heart warmed every time you saw those numbers, because they were your secret language with God, a private alphabet only the two of you could read. And it was beautiful enough that no one else needed to believe it. You opened your eyes. Outside, the sunlight had changed color, tilted gold, thin as a painter's final glaze. You smiled to yourself. Did you just sign the sky, and then you laughed through your tears because, yes, you knew He had. Everything around you was His signature. The bird gliding past your window, the church bell still echoing, the numbers on the clock, the red marks on your calendar. Together they formed a poem that only the marked ones could read. You placed your hand over your heart and felt its rhythm every beat, a number, every number a verse. 11, you and I, side by side, never apart. 444, I hold you in unseen arms. 711, you are complete. You are mine. A tear fell again warm, clear, and landed on the page where you had written 11. The ink spread gently, shaping itself into what looked like wings. You whispered, "You have marked me." And now, I finally see it. The room remained silent, but somewhere, in the unseen expanse above, heaven smiled. Part 4, Doors and Oil. Evening descended like a heavy silk curtain. The last light of day tilted through the window, sliding along the floor and casting long streaks across the wall, each one like an invisible door. Every beam opened a path. Every path led to a story not yet told. You sat still as water, thumbing through the notebook you'd written in that morning. The numbers 11, 4444, 777 were still there, the ink not yet dry. But today, they weren't random symbols anymore. They were keys. As you closed the book, something brushed your shoulder light, but waited. The air thickened, and you felt it a hand, unseen yet certain, resting gently upon you. It didn't push. It didn't pull. It simply whispered through touch, "It's time." Without knowing why, you stood and walked toward the hallway. It wasn't bright, but not dark either. A faint, golden hue like oil lamplight ran along the walls, blurring the line between dream and waking. Then you saw them doors. Dozens of them. Each different, some painted red, some inlaid with silver, some chipped and weary, others new and untouched. You moved slowly, fingertips grazing the handles. Every time you touched one, a memory flashed. A room you left in tears, an opportunity you declined out of fear, a prayer you whispered without full belief. Each door had been opened once and closed again. Then came the voice, familiar and low, not from outside, but rising through your bones. You've knocked long enough. Now, I open. You lifted your eyes. At the end of the hall stood one door different from the rest, not the brightest, but golden light seeped softly from beneath it. It wasn't the sterile glow of electricity, it was the warm shimmer of a candle burning in a sanctuary. You walked closer. The wooden floor creaked beneath each step, as if blessing your arrival. When your hand met the handle, that invisible hand settled again on your shoulder. This time, you weren't afraid. A warmth traveled down your spine, gentle, liquid, like oil poured over your head, running across your shoulders, gliding down your neck until it reached your heart. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't thick. It felt like light made tangible, seeping into every fiber of you, and in that instant, you understood. This door wasn't an exit. It was an assignment, a calling you'd been waiting for without knowing you were waiting. The voice spoke again, calm as waves. This door does not lead you out into the world. It lets the world come into you. In every wound you've carried, every tear you've hidden, I will turn them into oil for healing others. You are not just being healed. You are becoming the healing. The words melted into the oil still flowing over you. Your whole body glowed with warmth, scented faintly of resin, sandalwood, and honey. The hand on your shoulder remained steady, kind. You closed your eyes. Behind the darkness, visions stirred unfamiliar faces, tearful eyes, open hands reaching for connection. You didn't know them, but your spirit did. They were the ones you were being sent to touch. When you opened your eyes, the voice changed tone, still gentle, but now carrying the authority of a father preparing his child for purpose. I do not need you perfect. I need you willing. This door opens not for you to prove yourself, but to serve. I will pour oil upon you not to make you shine, but to make you soft. Only soft hearts can cradle the broken ones. Tears rose again, but this time they didn't sting. They flowed easily, like the body's natural response to divine presence. When one drop fell, it mingled with the oil, and both disappeared without a trace. You nodded, whispering, "I'm ready." The moment the words left your lips, the door opened by itself. No sound, only light, pouring out like water. You raised a hand to shield your eyes, but the light didn't blind, it passed through you, warm and weightless, shaking loose every burden that clung to your shoulders. Inside your chest, your heartbeat echoed the familiar pattern. 11, 11, heaven's timing, heaven's rhythm. Beyond the doorway wasn't heaven's throne, but the earth itself. People laughing, people crying, people quiet. There was still shadow, but you no longer feared it, because the light was no longer outside you. It was flowing from within. You stepped across the threshold. Oil still glistened on your skin, leaving faint streaks of gold like a halo stretched across your shoulders. The unseen hand squeezed your shoulder gently once more, then released. But before it faded, The voice sealed its final blessing. Go, my child. The door is open. The oil has been poured. From this moment, every step you take is a prayer, and every soul you touch will carry the fragrance I've left on you. You stood still for a breath long, deep, holy. Everything inside you quieted. No striving, no fear of enough. You finally understood. God does not call the flawless. He calls the ones who dare to open the door. You turned back. The old doors along the hallway were closed, but not cold. They seemed to smile, blessing you forward. The light from the new door spilled backward, painting the walls, the floor, your hands warm, fluid, endless like oil still flowing. You stepped forward and carrying the scent of wood and honey, the warmth of that unseen hand, and the knowing you have been chosen, anointed, sent. And behind you, through the quiet corridor, the voice breathed once more the steady pulse of the universe itself. The door is open. The oil still flows, and I am right behind you. Part 5. The crown, no longer forbidden. The throne room isn't in the clouds, nor hidden deep within a mountain. It is right here in the space between a breath and a heartbeat. When you step across the final threshold, the sounds of the world recede, leaving only a fullness of silence. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of wholeness where everything is in its right place. The light in this room doesn't come from any lamp. It rises from everywhere, warm as honey, gentle as a mother's breath at a child's ear. Each step you take sings a soft note, as if the floor were paved with the heartbeat of the universe itself. In the center is a throne not cast from solid gold, but forged from light. Draped across it is a veil thin as mist, and upon the veil rests a crown. The crown isn't as extravagant as you once imagined. No jewels, no blazing halo. It is simple, unadorned, inlaid with threads of light as fine as hair, each one trembling like distant music. And yet, when you look at it, your eyes grow wet not because of its beauty, but because of the truth. This is the once forbidden crown, the gift hidden since the beginning of your soul. A voice speaks closer, kinder than it has ever been. You have come far enough. Now sit. You hesitate. An old fear flickers. Do I deserve this? The voice answers at once, soft as wind over still water. Deserving is not what I ask. I ask for faithfulness. And you have been faithful in silence, in doubt, even in tears. You come near, knees touching the floor, your hands resting on stone as smooth as glass. Beneath your palms you feel a pulse, not the pulse of earth, but of life moving all around you. The room breathes with you. The voice continues like a whisper from ages past. This is the hour when what was forbidden is returned. What was hidden is called by its name. What once made you afraid becomes your place of rest. From the air itself, a river of light descends, soft as a shawl over your shoulders. It carries the fragrance of oil sandalwood, resin, and the deep scent of rain-warmed earth. Oil touches your forehead, glides across your temples, runs down the bridge of your nose, and settles upon your lips. Warm, weighty, holy. An unseen hand lifts the crown. Each time the metal light meets the air, The room hums with a wordless song. You bow your head. Your heart is as quiet as water before dawn. This crown, the voice says, has never rested on the head of one who has not walked through fire. You have walked through fire. You forgave. You received the mark. You opened the door. Now, what was once forbidden is permitted. What was once hidden is bestowed. And then, the crown touches your brow. No thunder, no lightning. Only a breath uncertain whether it is yours or heaven's. That breath threads through your hair, enters your heart, and opens a brightness you never knew was there. Peace does not arrive like a roaring waterfall. It settles like dew slow, light, spreading everywhere. Every cell loosens, learning to breathe after years of bracing. Your heart and the cosmos fall into the same rhythm. There is no border between I and you, only a shared breath, a silence that speaks. The voice comes again, so near it seems to rise from your own chest. From now on, you are not the seeker. You are the one found. You no longer need to prove your worth. Your very breath is enough for me to recognize you. You smile. Tears spill. But there is no bitterness in them. They fall into the light at your feet and become small flecks of gold, drifting, soaking into the floor like drops of oil. The room seems to glow a little brighter because of your tears. The voice goes on. Now you understand, don't you? The crown is not a reward for the strong, but a sign upon the one who has learned to be soft. Your strength is not in the shout, but in the stillness no one can steal. The room changes hue. The light softens to the color of evening. The throne no longer makes you feel small. It seems to draw in, fitting itself to you. You sit not proud, not timid, just right. In the place you belonged before you knew you existed. You feel the current of oil still flowing unceasing from the crown to your heart, then outward through your whole being. It is not only anointing, it is a promise of keeping. Every drop repeats the same truth: I will keep you in every season. When you are weak, I am breath. When you are lost, I am the door. When you are afraid, I am the hand upon your shoulder. You breathe deep, the scent of oil, of light, of life blended into a purity no earthly place can hold. Worry dissolves. The old questions fall from your mind like loose leaves. You no longer need answers, because you have come home. Before you, the light shifts and forms faces, those you have met, those you have loved, those you have feared or resented. They smile as if witnessing this rite. No one speaks, but agreement fills the room. The road has closed behind you, and you have been crowned. A breeze passes. The flames on the lamps tilt, then steady. The room holds its breath, and then, very softly, you hear yourself whisper unforced, unplanned words your soul has waited a lifetime to say, I am home. The sentence spreads, barely rippling the air, yet its echo travels beyond walls, beyond space, beyond time. Outside, the sky changes. Early stars appear, bowing toward this ceremony. The final word rises not from above or below, but from everywhere at once. Wrapping you in invisible arms, you have been crowned with light. What was forbidden is now covenant. From now on, you will walk the world without leaving peace. You will touch sorrow without carrying the smell of ash. You will say little, but your presence will remind others that there is a living God. The room doesn't dim because the light is fading. It dims because the light is entering you. One by one, your cells become small lamps. Each breath releases the fragrance of holy oil. You are no longer sitting upon the throne. The throne now rests within you. You rise and touch your brow. The crown is so light it feels almost not there. Yet each time you breathe, a tender gold halo shimmers around your head. You know it does not need to be seen. It only needs to be. The door opens. A cool wind enters, carrying the sound of the world voices. Traffic. Life. You step out not a wanderer, but a bearer of light returning to familiar roads. And in the last second before the door closes, the voice comes once more, soft as a whisper, strong enough to tremble your heart. The crown is no longer forbidden. It has found its rightful owner. Go now, my child, you are home. The room behind you holds a warmth like a gentle quilt laid over everything. Outside sounds fade, leaving only your heartbeat slow, clear, at peace. One beat, then another. Each one a quiet confirmation that you are here, and you have been found. No more searching for signs. No more asking if God hears. This very stillness, this warmth around you is the answer. You have passed through the fire. You have wept. You have forgiven. You have opened the door. And now you have been crowned. There is nothing left to prove. No one left to become. Because you are. You place a hand over your heart. The rhythm is unhurried. But with each beat you hear something new. Not the sound of fear, but the sound of life. A gentle voice moves through your mind, not loud, just clear enough to be heard in your bones. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not lost. You are chosen. Each word falls into you like rain upon ground that has been dry too long. You feel tears again, not of sorrow, but light like a clear stream running through a forest after rain. Inside, every wound goes quiet. Every accusation dissolves. Only breath remains. Only light. Only the truth that cannot be shaken. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You whisper it back, a private prayer over your own soul. I know now, Lord, I have heard. I don't need to be fast anymore. I just need to be true. I don't need perfection. I just need to be in you. The space around you widens. The light stays warm, still flowing. The room, the sky, the earth, everything seems to breathe with you. You know that in this moment, the universe bows its head because a soul has returned to its rightful place. You close your eyes and let your heart finish the rest. Thank you for keeping me through the seasons of fire. Thank you for not leaving me in the dark days. Thank you for marking, anointing, opening, and crowning me. And thank you for never forgetting me. One long breath, a small, quiet smile, peace. You feel the light spill outward from your skin, filling the room. Not blinding, not overwhelming, just enough for every shadowed corner to be seen for the first time. And you understand this light is not only for you, it is given through you, for the world. Hold this moment a little longer. If these words have found you, if your heart feels someone nodding from within, let the signal be heard. Type Amen or 700 to mark the moment you remembered who you are. Subscribe if you want to walk this road together, so you do not drift from the light. And if you know a weary soul still waiting to be called by name, share this message with them, because perhaps they are the next chosen one. The voice returns one last time, warm, unhurried, like the closing line of an ancient song. Do not be afraid anymore. You are home. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. The light softens, but the warmth remains. And in the returning dark, you hear it clearly. Your heart, steady and sure, beating in rhythm with heaven.